Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Sorry that I was not able to broadcast last week, so I am here this week and I will be back again next week. So today I'm going to give you a few minutes to hop on, go grab your favorite cup of joe and saddle up because we have a lot to do today. I have my cup of tea in my favorite Nashville cup. And today I am drinking Kava Stress Release by Yogi Teas. I love their teas, and they always have a little quote or something positive on the end of the tea bag. And today mine says, "Be kind to others, but always compassionate to yourself." So I think that kind of goes along with what we have been talking about. We've been really talking a lot about anxiety. So go and grab your cup. I'll wait a few minutes for you to hop on. When you do, say hello. I don't know why I don't always see the comments as they're coming in, but I always get back to them after the broadcast, and we will see how it goes today. I'm excited. Today up here in New Jersey, it is raining and cloudy, and it's a bit chilly. It's supposed to get really cold later on in this week, but it's not too bad. So go grab your cup of whatever you're drinking. Let me know what you're drinking. I'm drinking some stress relief tea. Figured it kind of goes along with what I've been talking about. Hi from the UK. Oh, that's great. Hi, Suzanne. Thanks for being here. That's wonderful. I think this is the first time that I've had someone outside the US, so I am excited that you are here. Thank you. So I am drinking my kava tea, and I think it goes along great with what I've been talking about the past several episodes. I've been focusing a lot on anxiety. And to go back a little bit while we're still waiting for some others to hop on, I dealt with anxiety back when I was in my 20s, and it was difficult. And I really feel that's a really hard time for, well, I can call them now kids, young adults. And as I see, as my kids are approaching that age, they're in high school and they'll be there soon enough, that it's a really trying time. And I dealt with it, and I was fine. And now that I'm 50, I noticed over the past I'd say 4 to 5 years, anxiety started creeping up again. And I did have a lot of major life changes. I had to uproot my family and move from where my kids grew up to someplace totally new while they were in middle school. That was really challenging. So on top of my son, my younger son has a learning disability, so I deal with that and dealing with the school systems, which isn't always so easy. So I found that over the past few years, and I blamed it on a lot of things. I blamed it on the move, and then the kids getting settled, and me rebranding myself, and starting my business all over again in a new place, getting out and making connections. And I found that even going out and networking was becoming challenging for me. I was feeling a lot of anxiety around that. And especially if you've known me for a while, I'm very open. I'm definitely an extrovert. I always liked people. I liked being in social settings, and I started to really move away from that and feel uncomfortable around that. So as my practice went on, I have been really grateful that I have the tools to deal with anxiety. And now that's really my focus, to help you with anxiety. And anxiety and depression go hand in hand, without a doubt. So hopefully the things that I teach you will really help you when you deal with anxiety, whether it's chronic anxiety or if it's just anxiety around a specific event. And it doesn't even have to be a bad event. I had a client that would come to me. She came to me for several months before her wedding. And she loves her husband. The wedding day went off, without a hitch, but she had a lot of anxiety around that. And sometimes it could be anxiety over something that's not so great. I've had clients that have lost their job, and many of them were single parents. So these are things that will bring on a lot of anxiety. So whether it's chronic and something that becomes where you might need to see a doctor and get some medication, or if it's just over, a life event that will come and go, whatever it is, anxiety can feel debilitating. So I've given you some great tools to use. If you go back, if you haven't seen my live broadcasts on here, I was doing them in my Meditation Mama Zen Den, my private group. Just click over and there's a few questions that I just want you to answer. I really don't want any trolls in the group, so I do ask questions and I do expect you to answer them. They're nothing major. I don't need to know the name of your first child or anything like that. Just want to kind of know, why you want to be in the group if you're not there. And they are all posted there. Also, you can catch them on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Teresa Lacaraza, so you can go and check that out too. And all of them are posted over there. So I decided I would get a much wider reach doing it here. So that's why I am doing it here. Now, let's get down to business for today. So today I want to talk about positive affirmations. I think they are a very valuable tool. I don't know if you have used them yet, or if you haven't, or if you know them, or maybe you don't know what they are. But a positive affirmation is just a simple phrase, message, or mantra that you repeat to yourself over and over and over, which describes a specific outcome for what you want in your life or out of a particular situation. So it's really, they could be very short. Sometimes they're a little bit more detailed depending on what your objective is. Sometimes they're a little bit longer. I've worked with people that are building businesses, so sometimes they'll be a little bit longer. And sometimes if you're just dealing with getting through the day, it could be something very, very short. And we're going to talk about them, and I'm going to give you some examples of different affirmations that you can use that are geared for anxiety. I am a really, really big fan of affirmations because it's something simple and easy that you can use at any time. I like to use them in correlation with some deep breathing because, again, we all have to breathe. So taking a few deep breaths and just saying this affirmation out loud, or saying the affirmation quietly in your mind, or, and I've spoken about this previously, is saying these affirmations as you look in the mirror and doing some mirror work. If you've never done mirror work and you're not familiar with it, we can talk about that in another episode, but go check out Louise Hay. She wrote a book about mirror work and how it works, and it's really very, very effective. So I suggest that you go and you check her out. So affirmations have the ability to eliminate anxiety, negative thinking, fear, and emotional stress and pain, right? So when we use them, it takes your negative thought and it changes into a positive thought. And the universe responds to our vibration, not necessarily our words. And I'll say that again. The universe responds to our vibration, not necessarily our words. And our vibrations can come from our words, right? So we want to make these affirmations short and powerful, but also have the vibration behind them so that the universe will respond to that. And that's why they work so well. So when you work with affirmations and you repeat them over and over, what ends up happening is they slowly begin to change the way you think. So if you say something over and over and over again, eventually you're going to start to believe it. And it may not seem that way at first, but you have to give it a chance. like anything else, and I know I've said this before, if you want to replace a bad habit with a good habit, you need 21 consecutive days. If on day 20, you break that cycle, the next day is day 1 all over again. So this is the same thing. You have to give the positive affirmations some time to really seep into your subconscious. So basically what they do, they ultimately rewire your brain until your affirmation becomes your reality. Okay? So this is really, really important. You say them and you use them again and again and again. And there are so, you can say them, like I said, look at yourself in the mirror, first thing in the morning. And saying them once a day really isn't enough. When I use them, I remember back in the days when I was teaching, many years ago, if I was looking to manifest something in my life, I had a quick drive. I only worked about 2 miles away from my house. What I would do is I would say my affirmations out loud as I was driving. I kept the radio off and I would say my affirmations over and over and over. I would write them on an index card. I kept one in my purse or and one in my wallet. Whenever I went to go take out money for something, I had them there, and it was an immediate reminder. And what I love to do, and in my weight loss class, my tapping for weight loss, we talk about affirmations there too. And, take a dry erase marker and write a positive affirmation on your bathroom mirror. So this way, the first thing you do when you get up in the morning, it could say, today is a great day. That's it. Today is a great day. And that's the first thing you see in the morning when you go into the bathroom. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use them. Put them, when I lived in Maryland for 7 years, I had bright index cards and I wrote positive affirmations on them and I hung them on the bathroom mirror. So on our main floor, we had a powder room in there. And when my neighbors would come over, they would see them and like, what's with the index cards on the mirror? I'd be like, this is what I'm manifesting. So, I would have them all over and it was just a lot of fun. You can really be creative with them. But at first, like I said, these phrases may be simple and completely feel like wishful thinking, like it could never happen. But if you commit to using them and giving them time, they work. It's all about repetition. Repetition, 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 repetition. It's really important that you stick with it. Give it a chance, right? So it's not magic. It's not. In some ways, you might think it is. It's not. But you have to stick with it, and you have to really give it a try. And just make a commitment. Say, you know what? I'm going to try this for 30 days. I'm going to do it for a month. Right? There are so many other things that we try for, a few weeks or this or that. We try diets for a month, right? I'm going to do Jenny Craig and I'm going to get my food for a month and see how that works. You know what? You don't even have to pay for this unless you're going out and buying pretty index cards to write them on. Just stick with it. Thank you. Suzanne says that great ideas. I'm glad I'm helping you. Let's see. So we've all seen and probably witnessed the power behind positive thinking. And we might feel that sometimes it's impossible to always have that positive outlook. We all have people in our lives that are like, oh my God, they're always so positive. How do they do it? Well, again, positive affirmations can lead you in that direction and you can become that person. Wouldn't that be awesome? So affirmations are the beginning stage. We all resist change. Well, most of us, I believe, resist change, and that's normal. Maybe some of us resist it all the time, and those might be we have people that are always negative and pessimistic in our lives. They resist change. Some of us, maybe it comes slowly over time. Either way, positive affirmations will make you receptive to the change that you want to see. I'm going to say that again. Positive affirmations make you receptive to the change you want to see in your life. So they're just little helpers. Think of them as little helpers that bring that change that you want to see to light and make it come to fruition in your life. So studies have been done on affirmations, and I love to see when we have studies on things, because I think science and metaphysics are starting to come together, right? Finally. And the studies conclude that using affirmations daily, every day, aid in making positive changes in your life, because they ultimately get your brain ready for the change that you're looking to make. So if you're feeling resistance, repeating the affirmations many times a day will train your brain to believe the words you're saying. So again, we have to keep saying them over and over. And the more resistance you feel, the more times you need to repeat these affirmations. So now let's talk anxiety, right? Because that's what I'm here to help you with. Living with anxiety can be crippling. Those of you who have dealt with it, whether, again, it's for something, for just a life event, or if it's chronic, it's crippling. I lived it, so I know from experience. I've had chronic anxiety where it was just months and months and months and months, and not one particular life happening that caused the anxiety. And then I had, the anxiety because, again, I was relocating, or something was coming up. I had some, a few years ago, I had a few cancer scares. So things like that can definitely bring anxiety. Then there's the chronic anxiety where you may not even know where it's coming from. And it's just constant. It's day in and day out. And that is crippling as well. So whether you're dealing with just something small, well, I shouldn't say small. If you're dealing with a particular life event, like I said, my client was getting married and she had a lot of anxiety about the wedding day, right? That even though that was a good event, she experienced anxiety. Or if you're dealing with a medical issue or having to relocate, which is something that may not last forever and ever and ever, then whatever it is, anxiety can be crippling. It could stop you dead in your tracks. And I've dealt with it. And like I said, for the past few years, I've definitely had an increase in my anxiety, and I've been dealing with it in different ways. And definitely, I know part of my anxiety is linked to nutrition and how I eat. So there are things that I'm evaluating now in my diet. There are things I know that I need to get rid of. And I want to see what I can add in to help me feel that peace and calm. So whatever the reason is, whether it's diet or hormones, and yes, I'm at that age as well, the effects are very, very real. So affirmations work by creating less anxiety. Again, it takes time and it takes work, but you have to give them a chance. Now, it's important to remember that it's normal to have days where you feel more anxiety and you might not use the affirmations. And I've been guilty of this. I have many tools, and there are days that I get so overwhelmed by the anxiety that I don't even use the tools that I have. So you can't beat yourself up for not using them, right? Just pick yourself back up and go back to, you might have one or two that like will immediately have a calming feeling on you. Then you just go back to doing that. So you're looking to change a bad habit into a good habit. That means you're looking to change your habit of maybe negative thinking, right? Or always being pessimistic to being positive. And that's a hard shift to make. It takes a lot of time, but you have to stick with it. So you need to learn how to stop yourself when you have a negative thought and replace it with a positive thought. Many people will forget and they'll come up with an excuse and they say that they can't do it and they give up. You deserve more than that. You deserve to be in a peaceful state all the time and every day. So this is just something, a little tool that you can use that will really help. And these daily affirmations give you the motivation to keep going on. Because if you're really feeling anxious and you use some motivation, maybe, you drink some stress, some kava tea that helps stress you, reduce your anxiety level, you're like, wow, this does work. And it'll give you the motivation to go on. So let's look at it. And I told you I was going to give you a few affirmations to help you along to get you started. And again, you want them to be positive, right? And they have to be in the present, not I'm going to, because that's putting it in the future, and that's what the universe is going to respond to. So you don't want to do that. So you want it in the present. So what I like, in which you should put and all over your home or wherever you can see it, is I always think positive thoughts. There you go. When you have a negative thought about anything, stop yourself. I always think positive thoughts. I always think positive thoughts. And again, if you're feeling that resistance, you need to say it more, not just once a day, not just in the morning when you wake up and before you go to bed, throughout the day. You have to do this. And it helps to do it out loud. But if you can't do it out loud, if you're at work and you're sitting at your desk, or maybe you have a cubicle and you don't want to say these things out loud, it's okay. You can just close your eyes and repeat them in your mind. You don't have to close your eyes if you can't. Just repeat it over and over in your mind. And just say it as many times as you can, because you will rewire your brain to start believing this. Here's another one. I always feel at peace despite what is going on around me. I'll say that one again. So if you want to write these down, you can write them down, or you can go back and you can watch this again. I always feel at peace despite what is going on around me, right? Or you could just say, I always feel at peace. I always think positive thoughts. Combine them. Whatever makes you happy. It's not right or wrong. You can change these words. You can make up your own. It doesn't matter. I'm just giving you some suggestions. Here's another one. My fear diminishes as I live my life one day at a time. My fear diminishes as I live my life one day at a time. As I mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago, I'm reading The Power of Now. Great book by Eckhart Tolle. You definitely want to get your hands on it if you can, or the audiobook. We can't look back because we're not going that way. And if we look too far into the future, that could bring anxiety because we're anticipating what could happen. But meanwhile, we only have this moment. So live your life one moment, one day at a time. Another one, and this works really well if you have some health issues. I am happy and healthy. Simple. I am happy and healthy. And I love this one. Peace is my natural state of mind. Peace is my natural state of mind. Like I said, the universe responds to vibration, and the vibration of peace, if you put that out there, that's what the universe will receive, and that's what the universe will give back to you. So we don't want to be in when we live in fear, that vibration of fear or guilt. They're very low-lying energies, right? We want to be in the higher energies, in peace and in love, and we want to vibrate there, right? Next one, I am calm, patient, and in control of my emotions. I am calm, patient, and in control of my emotions. So you may not be able to control what's going on around you, but you can control how you deal with it, right? And this is one way that you can control things that may not be going your way. So find the affirmations that feel right for you. If it feels right, then use it. If you need to change some words or some phrases, then change it. That's fine. Have fun with this. Don't look at it as, a chore. Really just use them. Find the ones that feel right for you. And what you can do is, when you're using them, and if you're in the right physical space where you have the ability to do this, like I said, if you're at your desk and you know, you don't want people to hear you, that's okay. But what you should do is you should definitely take time through the day. And when you're repeating your affirmations, what you should do is kind of sit in a comfortable position, in a comfortable spot wherever you are. Close your eyes and take a few deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, and say them out loud for 2 or 3 minutes. That's it. 2 or 3 minutes, 3-4 times a day. Some professionals will say that you should do it 5 to 15 minutes once a day. I like to do it more times instead of just once. I like to do it in the morning. You know, when you first open your eyes, I am not a morning person, so I don't hop out of bed right away. You know what? Take a few deep breaths and start with, today is a great day. And say that over and over again. Or one of the other ones that I mentioned, if you're dealing with anxiety, you know, I live in peace and harmony. And just say them out loud as you take a few deep breaths before you get up. You know, if you're a woman and or if you're a man and you're putting on your makeup and you're looking in the mirror, you know what? Say them as you're looking at yourself, right? On your lunch break, you know, go, and if you can't do it out loud, that's okay. Say them throughout the day. Like I said, I used to say them as I was driving to work, right? After the resistance begins to fade, then you may not feel that you may not need them as much, but that's okay. If you have resistance and you're having difficulty or challenges saying them as you look at yourself in the mirror, then wait a little bit. Still say them, but don't look at yourself in the mirror. Don't start the mirror work right away. Do that a little bit later when they feel a little bit better. Finally, the universe responds, like I said, to your vibration. When you're saying these affirmations, put feeling into it, right? Eventually, give it time. You're going to rewire your brain. They're going to feel more natural to you, and it'll be much easier for you to say them, because when you say something that you believe, you get excited about it, right? So if you have any questions, let me know. I will be doing a Zoom class about affirmations, and I'll teach you the process of how to write an affirmation. So stand by for that. Also, I'm going to be having a class on EFT for anxiety. If you missed that episode, it was episode 5 of Tuesdays with Teresa. So you can hop over to the Meditation Mama Zen Den group and go find it there, or go find it on my YouTube channel. So here is my call to action for you, and I want to hear back from you. Find 3 affirmations that resonate with you. It could be some of the ones that we used here. Find another one, make up your own, and use them every day for the next week. And I'm going to be back here live again next week, so we're back on the same schedule. And I want you to check in with us. So post a comment on the page about how you're doing with the affirmations. If you have a question about the affirmations, then let me know. Post your affirmations under here in the comments of this video. What's your favorite affirmation? I want to know what your favorite one is. And even if you want to tell us maybe why it's your favorite affirmation and how it changed, you know, whatever, or how it manifested, whatever it is that you wanted in your life. So let me know how I can be of service to you and how I can help you. If you have any questions, let me know. And remember, don't just live your life, love your life. You know how to find me. If you need any help, let me know. I will see you next week at 10 o'clock. That's Eastern time. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that I'm so excited. I had my first person outside the US join me. Thank you for being here. I will see you next week. Love you all. Bye.